All right. Welcome back. Long time no see. More Reps Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Chadwick Brown.
I'm Cabana Beckles.
And we're here once again, as usual, in the playground. Another action-packed episode for y'all. Hope y'all ready for this one, because I know we are. How was your week, man, my friend?
It's been good. Good. Finished off a couple jobs I had pending for some home gyms.
Nice.
One garage gym and one basement gym, and then finish off the details on that 5,000 square foot gymnasium.
Yeah, I seen you post some pictures of that. It's looking like it's coming along very well.
Yeah.
So is it like ready or pretty much?
Yeah, it's ready. So this Saturday, February 11th, we'll be doing the grand opening and unveiling for the community.
Nice.
Where everyone can see all the work that went into it.
Oh, this Friday. I'm not going to be there, man.
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday.
I might be back by then. We're
Yeah,
going away for
Saturday.
the weekend, so okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, for us, things been good. Business is picking up.
Yep.
We're really getting into our nutrition bag. We get a few new clients from that too.
Nice.
So again, if anybody needs some nutrition help, you can holler at us. You know what I'm saying? We can take care of you for sure. Come down here to United Wellness. We can take care of you. So now to get into the pod, set one, we're going to be talking about not having your partner on your fitness journey with you. Some of the struggles that can come with that, you know what I mean? You want to start with this one?
Yeah, with my partner and our relationship dynamic, she's a teacher, so kind of after the pandemic, very stressful time, kids in and out of class, she's stressed trying to chase kids for their marks, so she doesn't have the ability to dedicate enough time to her physical health as she would want. So I try to encourage her as much as possible, but one thing I did do was basically taper back on a routine that she can do in about 20-25 minutes.
Okay.
So instead of coming out there for an hour with myself, here's something that you can do either in the garage gym or the basement, 20-25 minutes, still going to give you a good pump, still going to burn some calories, and still going to give you a lot of muscle definition if you stick to that routine.
Better than nothing kind of thing. Let's get
so I floated between being an ex-professional athlete, kind of living that solo in the gym, grinding it out, basically having to do that as your profession. You're kind of on your own regardless.
Yep.
But it's a lot easier if the person in your household's along for the journey.
1,000,000%,
Yeah.
absolutely. So for myself and my partner, we pretty much have the same goals.
Nice.
We're in different lanes right now, so she's a little bit more deeper in the cut, and I'm kind of more so in my maintenance right now before I get into my deep cut. But just to have someone that shares the same passion with you, it makes the journey that much more easier. So I can only imagine. And then I have some of my friends that are on a fitness journey and their partners aren't with them on it, and they discuss the difficulties that come with that.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand that they can only eat certain things.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that they can't go out for beers because they have to trust stick to their goals and whatnot. So it makes it adds an extra layer of, I guess I don't want to say turmoil, but it makes the relationship maybe a little bit harder sometimes because they're not there to support you and whatnot. And again, like with myself and my wife, she's definitely right there on the journey with me. We push each other when we work out together.
Nice.
And even when we don't work out with each other, we make sure we're holding each other accountable, make sure you go get your lift in, make sure we're eating macros properly. And but again, it's if you don't have your partner on you with it, it just makes it that much more harder. And it makes it that much more less enjoyable too. You know what I mean? Because if you have your partner with you, whether it be for 25 minutes, like you said, with you and your wife, or for a full session, just to know they're grinding out with you, you know, it adds another layer of like intimacy to the relationship also, you know what I mean?
For sure. And it doesn't have to be the exact same routine that you're doing.
Absolutely
I think
not.
that's where I did some of the mistakes with my partner, is that I would go in and have a very structured routine where I'm doing back, shoulders, and triceps on day one, let's say.
Yep.
She's not too concerned with doing chest. She's not too concerned with doing biceps. So I had to tailor it so that she's in the gym or in the same vicinity as me doing her own thing, but again, we're both doing physical activity together.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the main thing. It's the same thing for my wife and I too right now. We're a totally different split, but on the times when we do work out together, at least we're in the facility together,
Yes.
or even if we're not in the facility together, because our last couple of weeks I've been working out at a different facility, she's been working out here, but at the end of the day, I know she's working out, she knows that I'm working out. So again, we're still on the same journey, even if we're not physically together the whole time. So again, just having that extra support makes it that much more easier, makes it more enjoyable. And even, let's say, for hypothetically speaking, you're in a relationship with somebody who's not, let's say you're the person that's not on the same journey as your partner, you still want to try to support them the best you can, even though you might not have the same goals. You support their eating habits, make sure if you're cooking, if you're eating different than them, cook something specifically for them, and then for yourself, something different, but at least it's some form of support, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So again, if you love your loved ones, support the journey, whether you're on it with them or not.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for set number 2. Sorry, set number 1.
Set number 1. Yeah.
Set number 2 is coming up right now, though.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, set 2. We're gonna be talking about, is muscle soreness a good indicator of a good workout or your gains or progress? This could be a interesting one. Myself, I'm weird. I like chasing that soreness. But I don't put a lot of weight into it. I know if I had a really good workout and I was sweating and I was pushing myself and I was feeling the burn the pump during the workout and I'm not sore the next day, I don't get all butt hurt and thinking like, oh, that was a shitty workout. Because I know when I was actually doing it, I was going full force. But if I do feel that soreness the next day, I get this weird feeling like, okay, I crushed it, I did good. But there's a limit to it. You don't want to go to a point where you're sore for 4, 5, 6 days after that workout. That means you overreached. That means you went too hard.
For sure.
So it can be a good indicator. It can also be an indicator of new stimulus. So let's say that I do a move that I've never done before. Chances are I might feel sore the next day, but at 3 weeks down the road of doing the same thing, I probably won't be feeling sore, even if I'm fully exerting myself and crushing it. So it can be, within reason, a good indicator, but also it's not necessary.
Being a lifter that's been in this kind of for 15, 20 years, I don't really get too sore. I have more stiffness than anything. So it's not that deep. Like you said, unless I'm doing a movement, sprints, or some type of other movement with weight training, then I'll be sore in that area. But otherwise, I get stiff. And also, I know if I am super sore, I'll go back and look at my hydration and nutrition to see if I was actually on pace or on par with what I had to do, because sometimes being malnourished or dehydrated can cause that extra muscle soreness.
Sore for sure. And you're right, there's a difference between soreness and stiffness. A lot of people kind of mix those two up. Like, yeah, I'm really sore, but really they're just stiff because maybe they didn't stretch probably before and after the workout or on the rest day.
So I think it's the soreness can be related to how long you've been lifting weights, what kind of routine you're doing, time under tension, and also how much exertion you put into that workout, like you said.
Absolutely, for sure, yeah. So I just switched up my my training split now. So now I'm doing a chest and back, legs, arms, chest and back, and legs. So I'm hitting chest and back twice a week and legs twice a week. Now this new routine, the first time I did it, my back and chest were Tostitos. After the first one, I was like absolutely destroyed. I did it again last week. It wasn't as sore. I did it for the third time this past week that just passed, and I felt like I could have hit it again, the same routine back to back. But again, but I know during the workout I was fully exerting myself and I was crushing it. I felt my muscle connection was on point. I was lifting with intention, but I wasn't sore. But in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I should be sore. But again, I wasn't putting too much weight in it. I know what I did. So you don't have to put so much emphasis on being sore the next day if it was a good workout. And again, in terms of your progress, like you said, if you've been lifting for years and years and years, chances are you won't be getting as sore as you would as a newbie lifter, for sure.
And then to piggyback on that, when you do feel that soreness, again, like we talked about in another podcast, don't just lay around all day. Get out, move to get some of that soreness out, because by the end of the day, you're going to feel a lot better than when you first woke up in the morning.
You won't be as sore, for sure. If you're sore, you're sitting there, your chances are you probably get sore and stiff now. You get both of them going now. So exactly, definitely get moving around, break up that lactic acid, have an active recovery, go for a hike, get on the bike, whatever the case may be, for sure. So again, it's not a big indicator of a good workout or progress. There's definitely other variables you can look towards to see if you had good progress in that workout or what have you. But again, soreness is the indicator that something happened, some kind of muscle disruption. You shouldn't be overly sore, but you should feel like the muscles worked at least. You know, if you work out the next day, you don't feel nothing at all, chances are you probably didn't go too hard. You should be able to feel some form of muscle disruption that happened, you know?
And for me, last point on that is, I'm a little bit more sore when I do pay attention and keep track of it in the summertime, because I do a lot of outdoor training. And I'm exerting a lot more because of the sun. Becoming dehydrated as my workout's going, and I'm not hydrating as much, so I do have a little bit more soreness in the summertime, because I'll push a little bit harder because the sun's out, you're feeling good.
You're enjoying a little something, so you might go a little extra hard, but you gotta make sure you're hydrated, like you said. Absolutely, for sure. There it is. Hopefully you guys take to those points right there. You don't have to always chase that soreness, but if you get it, chances are you're on a good path, but don't overreach, because you'll be sore for like the whole week. You don't want that. So that's it for set 2. About to get into set number 3. Let's do it. All right, set number 3, we're gonna be talking about different methods of recovery. There's a plethora of different things you can be doing on your off days or even right before and after your workouts to help with your recovery. We'll start with this. What you got here?
Yeah, I've done a lot over the years. So I've done anything from cold tanks to cold plunge to cryotherapy to stem therapy, yoga.
Okay.
I would say if you're a beginner, do something very easy and consistent. So I would recommend doing yoga or just some mindful breathing will help your recovery, speed up your recovery.
Yep.
So there's a ton of videos out there online that you can find for free on YouTube for yoga. So I would do anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes of yoga 3 times a week.
That's good. That's a good starting point for sure. I like to do a lot of stretching.
Okay.
Before and after. Walking and hiking on rest days is definitely a good way for recovery. Because like we just said in our last set there, if you kind of work out and you're sore, you're sitting around, you're gonna get stiff, and that soreness is gonna linger for a long while. So that Epsom salt baths, another thing I like to do, especially on leg days. Soak in that for a little bit. They'll take away the edge of some of that soreness the day after. I like to do a lot of meditation also, because this brings a lot of mental stuff, a lot of mindset stuff. Because that helps, because when I'm lifting, I have a lot of connection with my mind and my muscles. So why not train the mind on an off day, and that's going to help the connection and the recovery for the muscles the next day afterwards. There's so many different things, like you said. If you just Google it, go on YouTube. There's so many different ways. So the stem cell one, that's kind of interesting. When you said that. What was that all about?
So you can get I placed it in the same category as recovery, but it was for injury repair. So stem cell it's newer in Western culture, but the gist of it is they'll extract some of your blood, spin it, oxygenate it, and then put it back into that area where you had that injury, just to promote more recovery in that area.
Got it.
So just like a kind of like a boost in that joint or muscle, just to speed up recovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's totally different. I'm aware of stem cell, but in terms of like the recovery aspect, that's different. So now, what's the difference you find between a cold plunge and then an ice bath? They both incorporate coldness. Would
So
one
for
be better
me,
than the other?
the difference that I experienced was for an ice bath, I wouldn't fully submerge my body. I would go in just about to chest height. So I'd be sitting in a cold, like dunk tank, but my arms are out. Cold plunge, whenever I've done it, I've went all the way up to my neck. So arms are in, submersed, everything's down, I'm all the way down, all the way up to my neck, where kind of like the cold tub, my arms are out. Yeah.
Okay. So
benefits to both.
I was gonna say, which one would you prefer over the other? Is there one or?
I like the plunge. Just to get the full body, full body. I didn't go as crazy as to dunk my head underneath. I know a lot of people are doing that now. I don't recommend that.
Not doing all that.
But also with the recovery too, and even meditation, a lot of people I think get deterred because they try to go full out right away.
You can't do that.
You have to do very small increments in order to build that tolerance up.
Absolutely.
So that then you can meditate for 5-10 minutes at a time.
Exactly.
Start off meditating for 20 seconds. Week 2, 30 seconds. Week 4, 45 seconds. And then work your way up like that, where people just go in right away like, I tried to do 10 minutes, I couldn't do it, forget it, I'm gonna go on something else.
Well, try something smaller. It's almost just like a good parallel to that is just like working out.
Yeah.
You want to come in here, you can't start bench pressing 200 pounds right off rip.
Exactly.
You got to start somewhere. Start with maybe 50 and work your way up every week. Same kind of thing. And I find out a lot of people get deterred from meditation because, like you said, they try to do way too much. They can't stay focused. And it's not even necessarily about staying focused for the whole thing. It's about recognizing when you're losing focus and getting back into it. So even because your mind is going to wander. If you sit there for 5 minutes, and you try to focus so much, your mind's going to linger. You're going to hear something happen in the background. Well, what was that? It's not about staying in that. It's about, okay, I recognize that, and I'm going to get back into my mindset now and just stay focused and meditate on that.
And I have a few questions lately about how to start doing a cold type of therapy, if it's cold shower, cold plunge, how to start building up that tolerance. So week 1, I recommend at the end of your shower, the last 15 seconds, ice cold, just 15 seconds. Week 2, now we built up that tolerance. Week 1, week 2, 30 seconds. Week 3, 45 seconds.
So forth,
week 4, the last minute.
Wow, okay.
And you're just counting for yourself. And then you can start, after a minute, then you can start playing with now half your shower cold, half warm. Just because what that's going to do is increase the circulation in your body, start to take away any inflammation that's lingering, and just make you feel more alert and a higher, put you in a higher energy state.
So for something like that, you would recommend starting with the warm, hot, or warmer, hotter shower, and then going to cold, or the other way around? I would half and half.
I would. For me, I like going from warm to cold. So that's
Okay.
why I recommend. Have a warm shower, then the last half of the shower, when you get to that tolerance point, then go ice cold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go down to Lake Ontario, go jump in the lake. Don't do none of that. Don't do any of that, because that shocks your system and some bad things can happen to you.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like we're saying before, work
Yeah.
your way up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't literally jump right out the window, just nothing crazy. One more thing, again, getting back to stretching again. So I like to do stretches. So for a warm up, I'll do like a ballistic stretch, with
Okay.
a little more dynamic moving
Yep.
kind of thing, and
Yep.
at the end, then I'll do a more isometric hold for that. Because at least that way, the muscle that has blood, when you're stretching, you're kind of just working the muscle out. Sorry, working the blood out of the muscle a little
Yep.
more smoothly, as opposed to just letting it sit there. And for me, it keeps my pump a little bit longer when I do a stretch afterwards.
Yeah.
But again, stretching is another good way to do it. Yoga, like you said,
Yeah.
I got into yoga back for a little bit. I need to get back to that, to be honest. But yoga is definitely a good way.
When
for
you're
it.
doing your isometric stretching, is there a set period of time that you're holding that stretch for?
About 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds per body part I'm doing.
Okay.
So let's say I'm doing my quads, I'll do a quad stretch, hold it for 30 seconds per side, and it's usually at the end of my workout. And even on the off days, definitely too. Again, that helps with the soreness for the day after.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So again, if y'all need some tips on recovery, hope you like those. You can, like we said, you can Google it. Look on YouTube, look on Instagrams, all kinds of information out there. You gotta find something that works and fits for you. So that's it for set 3. Hope y'all enjoyed that. It is time, y'all. Supersets. Let's do it. All right. Set number 4, good old supersets. You know what time it is. All right, first one I got from my man here. Simple training 1. Would you rather train glutes or hamstrings?
Hamstrings.
Okay.
So I like the connection and the muscle contraction I can get in my hamstrings, and I always felt that training my hamstrings strongly always resulted in good glute activity as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, hamstring focus for me.
Same thing for me. Definitely hamstrings. My glutes are very dominant. Any form of like leg thing I do, if I get out of that range, my glutes jump right in. And I've actually had a lot of trouble, and as of recently, of keeping my glutes out of my leg workouts. So now I don't train my glutes at all. And but I do train hamstrings, and the hamstrings actually attach underneath the glutes. So like you said, if you have a good engagement with it, you will be, in essence, getting some glute.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I definitely prefer hamstring movements over glutes.
Nice. Question for you: what's more important, perception or truth?
Here we go. That was you jumping right into this already. Damn. Perception or truth? Definitely for me, truth.
Yeah.
Perception is definitely individual based, and the truth is the truth regardless.
Yeah.
So someone could look at, 2 people could look at one thing and have 2 totally different perspectives on it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's what is it? It's, so the truth is definitely what holds more weight than perception. But perception can go, you can see someone from someone else's perspective and try to get someone else to see your perspective. But again, the truth will never ever change. So I'm definitely more towards truth.
Yeah, I'll stay on the exact same path as you. As I'm getting older, for sure, truth. But I think teenage years, early 20s, it was all perception.
Oh, 100%.
We always, the way that we moved about, the way we dressed, the way we listened to certain music, it just flowed, and our vibe was just all perception.
Yeah.
And then as you start to educate yourself and learn how things really are, then truth has to
See the truth
dominate.
over everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Good one going. All right, we can get to a movie bag here. This is a tough one. It's a tough one for me. Bad Boys or Rush Hour?
Bad Boys.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the one
because
that-
I'm a car guy.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
I
Fair.
die for those. I would, even my partner will tell you, like, when we put on Bad Boys, I'll know the exact minute to go right to the car chase scene. I don't care about the rest of the movie. Like, I just want to see the car chase scene.
Okay.
Rush Hour was a really dope movie.
Yeah.
But I like the interaction between Will and Martin Lawrence
Martin.
a lot better than
Okay.
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Interesting. Okay. I lean more towards Rush Hour in this one.
Okay.
And then even in terms of just franchises, I liked all 3 of the Rush Hours more than I liked all 3 of the Bad Boys. And that was kind of the deciding factor.
Yeah.
First, Bad Boys is an absolute classic. 2 was good. 3 was meh to me. That's the most recent one that came out, right?
Yeah, Bad Boys for Life or
Something
Forever.
like that.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. And they're like older, and Martin was
Yeah.
looking like the fight scenes looked like he was like so uncoordinated,
Yeah.
and it just ruined it for me. But all 3 Rush Hours were amazing to me. The banter between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker was always hilarious to me. The second one was my favorite out of all of them. So I definitely have to say Rush Hour for sure for me.
I did hear that they're doing another Rush Hour.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard that too, so that'll be interesting.
And
And
Crazy
another
One-
Bad Boys too, actually. I heard.
Yeah, I did hear that. And I think it's Rush Hour 3. There's, is that when they're in China?
That was 2. 3 that might have been in China too, actually.
So there's a scene when I was in Japan. So one of the basketball players when I was in Japan was Sung Ming, which is the guy that holds them up and spins them around.
the huge,
Yeah,
tall,
seven
Asian
foot,
dude.
7'7",
Okay.
350 pounds.
Yeah, and they're fighting the dojo and whatnot.
Yeah, complete
Okay.
complete monster.
That's
He
insane.
can dunk standing up. It doesn't have to leave the ground.
Easily,
Yeah.
just on his flat feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a good one. But yeah, shout out to my man Andrew who comes here, works out at the clinic. He's the one that gave me that one there. That was a
Nice,
good one.
nice.
You know what I mean?
All right, one back at you. Right now in your current state, would you rather earn a stack of money or be given a stack of money?
Really good question. I think in terms of where I am as a man right now, I'd probably rather earn it.
Yeah.
I just have that sense of accomplishment, like, hey, I grinded out, I did X, Y, Z to do that. At least that way I can teach my children, hey, this is how I did it.
Yes.
And set like a blueprint
Yeah.
for them and even just inspire other people, hey, I earned
Yep.
my stack of money by doing this.
Yep.
Now find your thing that worked for you. So it just has holds more value than someone just
Yes.
saying here's a stack of
For
money.
sure.
Younger
For
me,
sure.
I would have said, I don't want to work for shit. Just give me
Yeah.
that money, give me
Yeah.
that stack
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I would definitely rather earn it.
Yeah.
It's a good question. You?
Yeah, same. Because as soon as you have that blueprint, even if you lose it, you know how to get it back.
Absolutely.
Versus the money given to you. That's why a lot of people that receive money, inheritance, whatever it is, blow it. They don't know how to get it back because there was no blueprint.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You hear about so many people winning the lottery
Yep.
and they're broke 2, 3, 4 years down the
Yep.
line and win millions. It's like, wow, because
Yep.
easy come, easy go. They didn't actually earn it. They didn't sense the value of that money because
Exactly.
they grinded it out for it. You know what I mean? Good one. It's a really good one. All right. Next one I got for you. It's a little bit of explaining to do. Listen. So you and your wife just had a child. You find out 5 years later that your child was switched at birth. So now would you want to bring your biological child back into your life and give the one you raised back, or the other way around, keep the one you raised?
I think I would try to find the biological child and bring that child back into my life.
And then give back the one you raised for 5 years? Because that's the hard part about this one.
Yeah. I would like to think that I would try to find the best situation for that child that we were raising that wasn't ours to get into a similar situation
Yeah.
and take back our biological one.
Yeah.
That's where I think that's where my mind and
Got
my heart would lay at. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was such a hard one for me when I thought of it, because it's like, even though that child I've raised for 5 years is not my biological child, that sometimes it's gonna be nurture over nature.
Yep.
Because I've raised that child to be almost like an emulation of me, regardless of it's not biologically mine. And for the one that was biologically mine was raised by somebody else. So I'll be getting a child that's already 5 years deep in, and I have
Yes.
no idea how they raise it. It might be a nightmare going forward. So it's a really tough one. But deep down in my soul, I would have to get my biological child, just like you were saying, because it would just, even if just having that knowledge and going forward in my life, raising a child that knows it's not biologically mine, and my biological child's out there being raised by
Yes.
somebody else
Yeah.
and living life, it would burn me.
Yeah.
So I would have to find, like you said, a similar situation where the one I've raised gets to a home and a good atmosphere that can continue growing, and then I bring in my own child at 5 years, and then continue from there. But that was a tough one for me to unpack, man.
Yeah, and I haven't experienced it. So a couple friends of mine have. They always say if it's not your biological child, you always know. There's always like this little, I don't know, little thing in the back of your brain telling you, like, this isn't your child.
So you mean if they were raising a child
That's
it was
not theirs, that they thought was theirs,
Got
or
it.
that they've been convinced that was theirs.
Yeah.
There's always that little thing in the back of their head saying, is it actually yours?
Something's-
There's
yeah.
just something a little off. And
Yeah.
I know probably 2 or 3 guys that's happened to. And they always said they always knew, but they didn't have the means or didn't want to destroy their household by checking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it would definitely uproot
Yeah.
the whole house. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's definitely a tough one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
one back at you. We're talking about superpowers and abilities. Would you rather be invisible
Okay.
or have a photographic memory,
Okay.
or have the ability of telepathy.
Mental telepathy, photographic memory, or invisibility.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's pros and cons to each and every
Yeah,
single
yeah.
one of them. I'm gonna say, wow. I'm gonna say invisibility. I'm taking that back. I'm gonna say photographic memory. Invisibility can have its pros and cons because, for one, it would be kind of cool to be able to sneak around and see what's going on behind the scenes when you're not around and what people might be saying about you. But at the same time, it's kind of creepy to do that.
Yep.
Telepathy, same thing, to be kind of cool to know someone's thinking, but then I don't want to know what's in everybody's head all the time because you might hear some shit and listen that you just like, I didn't want to learn that about that person. You look at them sideways because everyone's entitled to have their own things going on in their own mind, and have that privacy. You can think whatever the hell you want. So as long as you're not verbalizing it, that's something totally different. So I'll probably say photographic memory just because my memory isn't the greatest, just without superpowers. So to have that memory to look at something and remember it no matter what, I'll probably lean towards that one.
I picked the same one, photographic memory, just to be able to read books and retain all that knowledge, then to transfer it to something else. I think that's a big thing for me.
Absolutely, for sure. Nice. All right, let's get into a little bit of music bag. Talk about some Dirty South artists. Rick Ross or T.I.?
Again, those two played different roles in my life at different times. I would say T.I. I think he's a better lyricist.
Okay.
A lot better thought out lyrically.
Word.
And I believe that he's lived through a lot more that he speaks about rather than Rick Ross.
Okay.
I think Rick Ross is a great storyteller, but again, I think those are stories, where T.I., that was actual life for him.
Yeah. He lived a lot of stuff you said. Yeah. I'm the exact same answer for you. I picked T.I. for sure. Just on the grand scheme of things, I enjoy more of his music. His discography I enjoy way more than Ross. Ross, again, an amazing artist, amazing storyteller, but again, I feel like he's only got 1 to 2 different lanes and flows. And it gets really repetitive and monotonous a lot of times. So where T.I., he's got into his trap bag, he's got into his political bag, he's got into the black excellence bag, and a better lyricist. Overall, if you're going bar for bar, he flips words way better than Ross does. He has different flows. So definitely for me, I would say T.I. also.
Nice. So my next question to you is, in 2023, tell me something that you are more mindful of, and then also something that you've loosened up on.
Good question. Mindful, I'm definitely more mindful of, this is a really deep question, man. I'm gonna say I've definitely been more mindful of my time and what I'm putting my time towards. I've said in previous podcasts where in the past I've been a big time people pleaser, and I would never put time towards me and take care of myself and whatnot, and to the point I would wear myself thin and start getting resentful towards people I loved, and it's not to any detriment to them, just because of myself feeling like, oh, I've done this for you, I'm not doing this for me. So now it's the point where I've gotten myself out of my head, and I legit make time for myself every week.
Nice.
Whether it be just playing video games or reading a book or editing this podcast, whatever it may be. I'm taking time for myself. So definitely my time, I definitely been mindful for. And what's the second part of that question?
Oh, something that you might have been mindful of in the past, but you kind of loosened up on now.
Oh, okay. Probably people's opinions. I used to really take people's opinions about me and just other things to heart. And then to have me kind of skewed view on that person because they said X, Y, Z. And at the end of the day, it's just like, everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's going to say something, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion and say whatever the hell they want. But I'm also entitled to not give a shit about what they say. So I got to the point now where I definitely just let people be themselves, say what you want. Try to take offense to anything that they say, unless something that's really blatantly towards me and really derogatory. If it's not, then it's just like, it's totally fine. So definitely loosen up and just letting people be people and have their own opinion. What you got there?
I think I'm more mindful of energy and energy within my space.
Word.
So if I'm having a conversation and I don't feel good energy having that conversation, I'll remove myself from that situation. Or if I feel some bad energy in a room, I won't even step foot in that room, just because I want to be more mindful of protecting my energy. Because I know in the past I take on a lot of energy, people's energy, because like yourself, you said you are a people pleaser. Same with myself. And that also involves taking on their energy, their
1000%.
time, and a lot of the problems that they had going on at the time. So I'm more mindful of that. And something that I've loosened up on is not being so serious and driven all the time. Try to make more time to do things, if it's with my kids, with my partner. Just try to be a little bit more relaxed and not chase a buck. I know a lot of times as an entrepreneur, you don't know what's going to happen in next week, the 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you're trying to chase that dollar and trying to force your business. And a lot of times when you do that, things just go sideways. So now I'm trying to just let things go as they may.
And just kind of more enjoy the moment, enjoy time with your loved ones. Just loosen up a little bit. Good for you. That's good. Nice.
One of my mentors right now, he gave me a perfect analogy. I never thought of this before, but he said, he's a very successful man. You have to treat business as an entrepreneur as if you're pushing a rope. He's like, if you push a rope slowly and gently, it will go straight. But if you force it, it's going to go off to the side and start zigzagging and snaking. He's like, that's how you have to approach business.
Pushing a rope.
Pushing a rope.
Wow, I fucking like that. That's good. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to use that one sometime, bro. I like that. I like that. Nice. All right. Next one for you. Yard food.
Okay.
Boiled dumpling or fried dumpling?
Fried dumpling.
Easy like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like fried dumpling a lot more.
Interesting.
Grew up on both, but I always had a special place in my heart where my mom would make some fried dumpling.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say the same thing. Fried dumpling over everything, because you can eat it just on its own by itself, or whether it be with ackee and saltfish or just anything. It definitely works. Boiled dumpling is amazing too.
It is.
But I feel like I like it better in like a soup. I couldn't just sit there and eat just some boiled dumpling on its own. It'd have to be with something else with it for sure. So definitely fried dumpling for me too.
Nice. My last one back at you is, we'll talk about adversity. Are you someone that shies away from adversity, or do you embrace it?
Nowadays, I definitely embrace it. The older version of me, I definitely shied away from it, just because I wasn't that much of a confrontational person. And going back to what I was just saying before, I would let people's opinions mean a lot more to me than it would. So again, if there's a confrontation, I don't want to look at me like, oh, this guy's being an asshole, like I don't like him now. And I would take that to heart. Now it's almost like, if I'm giving someone the grace to be themselves, I expect them to give me grace to be me.
Yes.
So if someone says something I don't like and I speak up about it, and it's a confrontation, it shouldn't be a problem. So I definitely lean more towards leaning into adversity, bring it head on, as opposed to shying from it.
Yeah, same. I embrace it a lot more. Have some pretty heavy and kind of head-butting conversations with my partner all the time. It's about, if it's race, if it's about financials, if it's about just lifestyle and kind of what we're trying to do together. And I'm better for it, because I know in the past I would just kind of shy away or just be very silent about it. But being expressive and just getting my opinion out, because I know that I continually educate myself, so I know I have good points, have good opinions. So just being heard is a big thing.
Big time. There's nothing wrong with rocking the boat. I mean, a boat can't just say flat all the time. There's gonna be waves. So you gotta speak up for yourself. Definitely rock the boat, and I respect that for sure. Last one I have for you, the more fitness thing. Would you rather be doing farmer carries or suitcase carries, or working with a resistance sled?
Now that I'm concentrating more on core and targeting that, I would do a suitcase carry.
Okay.
Sleds are great. I have a sled at my house. Like, sleds are great for, I find I use them for legs or use them for endurance training or kind of HIIT training as well. But yeah, because I'm concentrating on core and being more mindful of my core nowadays, I'm going to say suitcase carry.
Nice. I like both of them. I feel like I don't do enough of either of them, to be honest. But definitely in the phase I'm at right now, I'm definitely looking to work more core. So I'm gonna piggyback on what you're saying. I definitely would rather do a farmer's carry or a suitcase carry. It's way more core engagement for sure, and it helps with your stability. Sleds are definitely good for more legs, like you're saying. You're going backwards with it. It's gonna be good for your knee health, and bulletproof your knees and whatnot. It's great cardio also. But again, if you want to get a great good core engagement, keep your stability muscles engaged and whatnot, farmer carry, suitcase carry for sure. All day.
Nice.
All right. So I think that's all we got for y'all for this episode. Hope y'all enjoyed it. This is the Morris Podcast. So again, you can follow us on TikTok, on Instagram. You can also email us Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Got anything else for the people, bro?
No, just stay healthy. Don't get discouraged. I know we're coming into February now. Even if you fell off a little bit, just get right back on. It's the consistency over time rather than what you can do in a short period of time.
Absolutely. Good word to end. That's what it is. We're your hosts, Chadwick Brown.
Come on, Beckles.
That's it.